Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm 18 years old, and today I'm going to be sharing my teeth and jaw and mouth story with you all. This is like kind of my life story-ish. Like if someone asked me like, Danielle, what defines you? What like experiences like from your past have turned you into the person you are today? I would tell them this. I was applying to colleges this past year, and one of the essay prompts was like, describe the world you come from. And this is what I talked about. This is something that made me into the person I am today. And today I'm gonna lay it all out on the table and share it with the internet. So I also happen to have some props, basically some different like appliances and apparatuses that I've used throughout the years. Sorry if anyone thinks that's kind of gross that I save them, but this is my life, and everything I'm going to be showing you is something that was in my mouth at one point, but don't worry, it's clean. So where to begin? I guess basically like everything that I'm going to be talking about is kind of like a cross between genetics and bad luck. I kind of struggled through, I went through a lot of stuff, and it kind of just started when I was born. So I remember, I believe I was in like third or fourth grade, that's when I lost my first tooth. And it like wasn't ready. Like it was my front tooth, and it was like kind of wiggly, but like it wasn't ready to come out, and I kind of forced it out. I was like, what, maybe like 8, 9 years old or so, and most people like start losing their baby teeth when they're like 4 or 5. So I was like already late to the game. I guess that like could have technically been a foreshadow that like more stuff with my teeth was to come, but yeah, I was pretty late to the game when it came to losing teeth. In fact, over the course of like almost a decade, I actually had 12 teeth pulled total. Like some of them didn't even want to come out. In fact, I actually have a couple baby teeth like still in my mouth, but I will explain everything. So one of my first problems that I had with my mouth was that I had a very, very narrow and small mouth, and I still do to this day, but like my dentist and orthodontist would say like, Danielle, you have a really small mouth. So the first thing that I ever had was an expander, and when I was in fourth grade I had an expander put in my mouth, and I had that for about a year, and I actually have it. So this is what the expander looked like. These went on my back teeth, and it was basically in my mouth like this, and it had a little hole right there that you crank with a special tool. I have the tool to show you. It has like a little hook kind of, and basically what you do is like you fit that little hook into the hole and crank the expander, and it will over time slowly expand your upper palate. And I had this, like I said, for like a year when I was in like fourth grade. I'll never forget, so I was like kind of young, so I couldn't crank the expander by myself, so my dad would always do it for me every single night. And I remember the one time my mom did it, the expander like actually popped out of my mouth. And I had to get it glued back in the next day. And I mean, this is actually really common now. I've noticed like a lot more kids lately have been getting these, and I mean they seem to like, they do a good job, I think. I had this in fourth grade, and then when I was in fifth grade, I think I still had this, but I got phase 1 braces, which was basically braces on my front 2 teeth and a wire all the way across, so I didn't have brackets on every teeth. And I was like, still had baby teeth in my mouth, but I still had the expander, and I had like phase 1 braces. So after 5th grade, I got the expander removed and the braces off, so my teeth were completely bare. And at this point, like, we kind of started to realize that I was missing teeth. If you haven't seen my previous videos that I made talking about my permanent bridge and veneer experiences, I revealed that I have some missing teeth, which is due to something called hypodontia. And one of the teeth I was missing was my upper incisors, and at that point, like, there was no bridge gap because I only had the braces on 2 teeth. So my orthodontist made me my very first flipper. So a flipper is basically a retainer with fake teeth on it, and I did wear another one at a later time. I will get to that. But this is actually the one that I wore in the 6th grade because, like I said, like my upper incisors weren't there, but like my teeth were like kind of all jumbled anyway. So I was like, had a big gap in my upper right incisor area. So my orthodontist made me this retainer, this flipper with a tooth on it. And I would like wear this to like school. Like, I was in 6th grade, like people didn't know about it, but like I would wear it to school, and I remember like I would take it out at lunchtime and then put it back in after, and like made sure that no one noticed. So I wore that like during the day, and at nighttime I wore like literally your typical retainer. And yeah, I just had to wear it at night. 6th grade was like probably one of the easiest years like mouth wise because I just wore this at night. So at this point, like I was still like losing teeth. Like I was still getting teeth pulled. Like I've been getting teeth pulled like throughout the years. So at this point, like nothing super dramatic was going on with my mouth. When I hit 7th grade is when like stuff started to like start. When I started 7th grade, I got full on braces, top and bottom teeth, and I had those for like the next 5 years, but during that time, like I actually had other stuff in my mouth, believe it or not. Here's where it starts to get a little bit complicated. So I have other videos on this channel, obviously, and I talked about my underbite and my crossbite and my missing teeth. And basically, in terms of the underbite, we tried to combat that with headgear. So when I was in 8th grade, I wore headgear at night, and I have some appliances to show you. This was in my mouth. This is kind of looks like the expander. It's like, it's got little like hooks that kind of went on like the inner part of my teeth and kind of like peeked out at the front. So this was cemented in my mouth, this apparatus. And this was the headgear I wore. Now this is like your non-traditional headgear because I had an underbite. Typically people with like overbites have the headgear that goes like this way, you know? So this is what I wore, and it looked like this. And to connect it to this apparatus, I use these little rubber bands that the orthodontist gave me. And I'll show one to you. They just like are tiny little rubber bands, and I would wear that at night when I went to bed. Like I wore this to sleep. I wore this to sleep like every single night, and this kind of hurt. Like it was supposed to, you know, bring the upper jaw forward, so my mouth would be really sore in the mornings. And then sometimes like I would go and get like checkups, and the orthodontist would want me to like double up on the rubber bands. We eventually figured out that the headgear like wasn't solving the problem. Like I admit I didn't wear it like as long as I probably should have, but this was not like enough to combat my issue. Like I had a serious underbite and crossbite that I needed jaw surgery for, and I will get on to talking about that. Actually, no. So before I got into like the jaw surgery stuff, I believe it was possibly 8th or 9th grade, I actually had like a tooth removed on like the inner upper palate of my mouth. It was an adult tooth, and it like, I think it was like probably a molar or something, and it was like we were either going to like chain it and like move it or just remove it and have a baby tooth in there. So that's what happened. Like I said, I had like teeth, like 12 teeth removed over the years, but this one was like an actual procedure that like I actually got like a tooth. Like I had to go under to get this like tooth removed, but like that's not like a big deal, but like it kind of shows how weird my mouth is, I guess. So I believe it was sophomore year, I got my wisdom teeth removed, which like, I mean, most people get that removed. So I got my wisdom teeth removed. I still had the braces on, and it was after my sophomore year that I had my jaw surgery. I have 2 videos on this channel explaining that process, and I have a couple pictures, and you can kind of see what my face used to look like. And that was like a whole issue in itself. And I mentioned that I had 2 teeth pulled then, also 2 of my lower teeth. So it was after kind of the jaw surgery that we moved on to the veneers and permanent bridge, which I also have a video on. But before I get onto that, I have more things to show you. So like I said, I had braces throughout that time. So before I had my jaw surgery, I had 2 baby teeth on my lower bottom, and I had like a space there because the orthodontist just shifted my teeth that way. So I did wear a flipper down there, and this was the first one I wore. You can see it had the braces attached to it. They look really real, like when I had them in there. So after I had my jaw surgery, I had more teeth pulled, so there was a larger space there. Hang on a second. So I got a new flipper with more teeth on it. And they put the braces on that one too. And like, no one knew about this. Like, only like my closest friends knew I had that. But like, I upgraded from 2 teeth to 4 teeth. This is before I got the bridge, obviously. So I got my braces off in like December of my junior year. And of course, I couldn't wear the flipper with the braces, so they made me another new flipper without braces. And this is what I wore before I had my bridge put in. And then, like I explained in my last video, I did teeth whitening, and then I did the bridge and the veneers. I'm not gonna talk about the details of that because I have a video on that. But that's kind of like a good visual, I guess, of showing you what I endured. And as of right now, luckily, I will show you the retainers I'm currently wearing. These are Invisalign retainers because luckily I'm done with like all my processes. So these are Invisalign retainers, and I wear them at night most days a week, and they're really easy. I'm sure most of you guys have them or know about them. So I know I didn't really get like too into detail or too into specifics about my teeth. I kind of like went through it kind of fast. And that's because like as I've like realized like over the years, like those processes took years. And like looking back, like everything I went through, like it's so much easier said than done. So you might be wondering, like, Danielle, how has all that stuff turned you into the person you are today? And let me tell you, that was like almost over a decade of processes that I went through. And it taught me as a person to like be very patient and take time with things and realize that good things do come to those who wait. It's also taught me to be very sympathetic of others who are going through things, because sometimes like people go through life or go through things that they have no control over. And my teeth was something that like I didn't necessarily, like, I didn't choose to have that lifestyle. It kind of just happened, and I had to deal with it and transform myself into a different person. So I tend to be very like sympathetic towards others. It also kind of taught me how to be a good listener and understand that other people go through struggles, even though it may not be like a similar experience, but to know that they go through things too. Going through like what I've been through has also taught me to be very optimistic and hopeful for the future, and know that like although you may be very down right now or things might not be going your way, that like if you have like an open mind and a clear view of things and you're optimistic, that life can be good to you and that your life can get into a better place than it probably is right now. And of course, my experience has taught me the importance of dental hygiene and flossing very often and brushing your teeth twice a day, of course. Thank you to everyone who watched this video and watched my previous videos. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you later.